Hi, this is Darren Brown with Darren Buys Homes Cash. I am a local real estate investor and real estate broker right here in Sacramento, California. And today, what I'm going to share with you is how to buy your first home and rental homes step by step for beginners. I know many people today feel like they're priced out of the market and that they'll actually never be able to have a chance to buy a home and never will be able to achieve their financial goals by owning a rental property. So let's get started. I know that this process personally has worked for me, and so I'm going to share that with you today, step-by-step process. So first step that you're going to take is to believe. Believe that you can and you will own a property, whether it's your first house or you're looking at buying your second home, and commit to that goal that that is going to happen. Second step is going to be to stop listening to all of the negative news that is out there on Google, CNN, Fox News, that you're priced out of the market. You'll never be able to achieve. If you keep listening to that, you will be brainwashed and you will never really achieve your goals. That's just the way it is. Stay away from the negative Nancy's. Instead, self-educate yourself on what is possible and what you can do. It's been done before, it can be done again. Step number 3, this is a very important one here, is change your spending habits. Understand the difference between what you must have and your needs and your wants, okay? You don't really need to go on a vacation. You want to. You don't need all the updates with all the cell phones. Get rid of the apps. Stay away from Starbucks. Buy yourself your own coffee maker and start streamlining and getting skinny on what you spend your money on. Get rid of all credit card debt. Okay? How are you going to do this? Doesn't really matter if you have a lot of money or you're just making it just to get by month. Save your money. Get a second job. Put your pride to the side and get something that's going to generate some extra income and save that money for your first down payment. That is going to be the most important thing that you do. Later in this video, I'll share some case studies on what has happened to me and several other of my clients who have done the same process. Okay. Step number 4 is meet with a lender. It doesn't mean that you are going to buy. What you want to do is find out what you will be able to afford to buy and what is it going to take. What is your credit score going to need to be? You can start working on that. How much of a down payment are you going to need? There are several options out there and plans for buyers where they assist with closing costs and down payment as well. Remember, your first house that you buy, you are intentionally trying to buy a property that is a house. It's not going to be your home. It's not going to be your dream home. Okay. You are buying that property with the intention of that you're going to someday rent it out. One of the key things that you're going to want to do is buy a cosmetic fixer, not a real fixer, but a cosmetic fixer, something that needs carpet and paint in a good neighborhood. Okay, that's going to be key. The ugly home in a good neighborhood is how you start, because that's how you're going to build equity to get your second home. Okay, somebody's going to want to rent your property. You don't have to have it all updated. Live in it. Don't upgrade it to the point where you've got new kitchen and this, that, and the other. That's not going to be important. Just make sure that you have the major things taken care of, that the air conditioning and heating system work very well. There's no problems with the roofs. The plumbing's working all good. With carpet and paint, most people will take that home as a rental like there's no tomorrow. Okay, so what about interest rates? Forget about interest rates. You can refinance later. Buy now. If you're going to try and time the market and try and buy when interest rates are lower, guess what? Prices are going to be higher. You're not going to get the prices to come back down. That doesn't even make any sense to try and time the market and try and get rates to waiting for rates to come down. You buy now and then later rates will come down and you can refinance. Okay. You got to understand that right now in California, I say this, we are not in a recession. We are in a what we call a stagnation, where things are kind of looking shaky because of the current administrative policies that are taking place throughout. It's putting a hamper all over the United States. That doesn't mean that you can't buy and you can't reinvest. The first home that you get, you're going to keep that home and stay in it 3 or 4 years, build income, get a second job. I was in the military, case study right here. I was in the military for 20 years. I didn't make diddly, okay? I bought my first home when I was 29 years old. I had a 2 and a 3-year-old and my wife didn't work yet. We bought a condo. We stayed in that condo for 4 years. I worked, I cleaned toilets, I took out garbage at building offices, and then later I got a second job as a nurse. What I did later, 10 years later, after let me back up a bit here. After 4 years, I was able to work with a lender that said that, hey, you can use that income that you're making from if you rent it out as income earned, and you can qualify for a better and bigger home. I did exactly that. I made the money, I had the money for the down payment, and I rented it out. I rented that condo out, and then I moved. And 10 years later, what happened? Equity, boom, blossomed up. And then from there, I was able to buy more properties just off that one. So the key is to get one property as a house, not your home. Don't over decorate it or over improve it. And then later, you make a little bit of money from rent. If not, as long as the rent is being paid, you're building equity. It's better than paying rent. Another case study. I grew up with an individual who went to school on the yellow bus. I'm not sure if you understand what that means, but people who took that little small yellow bus to school where they only had like 12, 16 passengers on there, that was the special kids class. This person was pretty much handicapped. He followed these same principles. He's in Atlanta, Georgia right now, and he bought several homes, paid off his mom's home, and has several rental properties. My grandmother did the same thing. She had a 3rd grade education. She didn't work. By the time she passed away in her 70s, she had 8 homes. So it does work. You have to be diligent. You have to be focused. You're going to have to get skinny and understand your difference between your wants and your needs. Okay? The earlier that you can get started, the better. Okay? That's going to be very important because you build equity over time. And you can't, the longer you wait, the less time that you have to build equity. So if you can buy in your late 20s, mid 20s, 30s, just buy to own a property. It is cheaper than renting. And then you will have the opportunity and options to buy multiple properties off of that one. So I hope this helps you out and understanding that anybody can buy real estate and also invest in real estate. But it starts with one single move, getting your first home, and then from there, you rent that out. Thank you.